It's my privilege to be here to thank you. Good day, Nigerians.
Good day to you. All right, onto the report now. The National Association of Nigerian Colleges Nurses has called for transparency and the reinstatement of teachers amid an alleged payroll fraud scandal. A forensic audit by Sally Tibbott Consulting Limited claims the state is losing 13.7 billion naira annually to 8,452 ghost workers and pensioners. The controversy follows the Osun State government's decision to sack 12,000 teachers, a move believed to be linked to the ongoing audit. Nancy's warns that the mass dismissal could outstretch the remaining workforce, increase class sizes, and negatively impact the quality of education across the state. While the administration of Ademola Adeleke denies the allegations and describes the claims as politically motivated, it maintains that only 1,316 workers remained unverified. Nancy's, however, insists that transparency is crucial and is urging the government to reinstate affected primary school teachers to safeguard effective learning in Osun State. Professor, what is your general take on this report? I mean, do you think this situation in a way reflects a deeper structural weakness in Nigeria's employment and payroll systems? What do you make of this report?
Absolutely, as given that there is a problem with Nigerian payroll, not only in secondary schools, even in primary schools that are supposed to be government, and also in the universities. But what is most disturbing about it all is that the teachers are usually the scapegoats when we get into this matter. The structure has a problem, the leadership has a problem, and then when the trouble shows, when the grant suffers, people are now the scapegoats. So for me, absolutely, I will want the teachers to be reinstated and be paid, because come to think of even their salaries, so meager. So it is unfortunate that when a trouble like this is on ground, the government will not feel it. The people in charge of the system, the structure will not feel it. It is the barely paid teachers and earners that are the scapegoats. So I feel not only that we should trace the problem, which is where is the source, but we should rescue the scapegoats. So the teachers should be called back immediately while they're managing the structure, the structural problems, and they should continue to collect their little stipend because of their big contribution as teachers to society.
All right, thank you.
Rescue immediately. Rescue the teachers with their little stipend before we start saying is the problem of the governor, the problem of the... Just rescue, please.
Okay, ma'am, about the decision of the Osun State government to sack 12,000 teachers in this process. Do you consider this to be wise? What is your opinion on this decision?
That is where I'm already getting into.
Okay.
I'm saying no sacking, please. No sacking, because they are now the scapegoats, and just find out what their salaries are. Stipend. The stipend. We even heard from Apple Harcourt that it's not that they want to be sacked. We thought that they are already sacked. And that is where I'm taking it from. If you have sacked them, send back. If you're thinking about how to sack them, then don't sack them. Yeah, ultimately, here in the university too, we fill forms every year because they're looking for scapegoats. They're looking for teachers, people that are not supposed to be teachers, but their names are on the payroll. So they're looking for fake names on the just do the sacking without knowing what's happening. Then there are some people that will be scapegoats in the process that are just the normal teachers. So it's not what could be done in a rush.
Okay.
Because of people who would turn as scapegoats in the system. And let's also to sack, some of them are the breadwinners for their homes. And by the time just fix them without checking the structure, making it right, computerizing the system so that the right persons will not turn victims. I'm on the side that you can't just rush the sacking like that. They are the ones sustaining their families, and the teacher salary, remember, is very small, averagely in Nigeria. When we say money is falling, when we say money is missing, most of the time that is not where the real money has gone. So this is where we have numbers of people that are collecting barely minimum salaries, and you just wipe off the system like that. No. And current system. Let's also look at the current situation of the economy in Nigeria. In terms of the amount of money, in the context of the level of inflation with the fuel and other problems we already have, people are currently managing, barely surviving. So we can't just rush and say, stop paying. Those numbers of people will be rendered useless, and as teachers too, it's going to be affecting the schools. So they need to really painstakingly look at it. Check out the real ghosts that they feel are on the system, and consciously now bring out the names. I think they do it in every state. It's not unique in Osun State. So they will need to intelligently drive that process. Yeah. Without rocking the entire boat.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Prof.
Of both and teachers. Not only teachers now, students too.
Okay.
It must be thoroughly done. And when I say thoroughly, the process must be thoroughly assessed. Not being at the defensive, we are the governors, we're doing our best, we'll say, on teachers, we say some money again to collect. And deduct the money from the poor people on the street who are ordinary teachers, and target the usual workers. Then that money is going to embed people. We must be very.
Okay. and with your wealth of knowledge, what recommendations would you give? What reforms would you recommend to rebuild trust between government, educators, and the public? Because we see a situation of deficit in trust in this whole report, where some persons are thinking the whole money is being diverted to ghost workers. We are still seeing it that it as bad as it even seems. So what reforms would you recommend to build trust in the system?
Yeah, I like the part you're coming from, that I started lecturing in the university since 85, and now it's a 41 year by this year.
Okay.
So I've been in the system, I've watched in the university system where we're looking for ghost workers, trying to remove the names of people that are dead, those who are, and most of the time we notice that when they finish the overhauling, it gets to like 5%, 10%, and never 70%, never 80%. Because if it is 100%, it means all the staff in that section are not even working in the sector, are not even working at all. Recently, the government negotiated with ASU to pay some of the backlog owing the universities, and some of the money they have promised to pay the universities. But unfortunately, by this January, it has not been paid. And I teach in a state university, and they were even telling us that after the federals will be paid, we in the university, in the state universities, we will need to completely take it easy. So we come to trust of us. It went viral September, October, November 2025, that the university people salaries will be increased, and it's we that we have our pay slip in February now, that we know it's not reflected at all. Even the market people have started jacking up. There's already inflation with the claim that ASU staff salary is being paid. I think it was specifically 40%. If I give you my pay slip in January, no trace. So when we discuss the topic of trust on this matter, it is a very, very serious one. Because for real, the teachers, Nigerians, the system don't believe in our government, even when they promise they will pay. We're not sure until when we see the money. And it happens from the primary to the secondary into the tertiary level. So the issue of trust is very, very bad. And I will encourage, also as an old politician who has tried to contest presidency on the basis that I feel Nigeria needs a woman president, for heaven's sake, for a change. We need people that will be accountable. So I'm going to be asking for and advising our government that we demand accountability from them. We demand that when they promise, they should really fulfill it, because nobody is trusting them here. And whatever they feel they will not do, this should just let us know, so we know that nothing will be done. Obasanjo did something during this some years ago that I liked so much. He said there was some big money as it came. And he said they're going to steal this money up. So he's going to share it to civil servants and workers before they steal and loot everything. He said they're going to loot it. So I'm going to share it. And he didn't even go into details of how he's going to share it. The following month, we just saw the money without noise. No noise, no increments, no inflation. We just cited the increase in salary and the system was stable. Our government to the presidential level may need to learn that Obasanjo skill. Operational spirit, operational announcement, operation act it out without even making everybody in the market. You already said you're giving the 40%. You've already announced it and there's inflation in the market. And then you decline the payment. Why don't you even do it without telling us? Let's just see the actions and start hearing the talking. I look forward to a governance that will just perform without force harassing us about failure, telling stories of what will never be done, hacking prices in markets and with inflation, and ultimately nothing is actually happening. So our government will really have to sit up. And then the ones they're quick to do are the ones they feel they will benefit out of it. So immediately you're told, oh, we have so many ghost workers. You've forgotten that you're also the one who placed workers in ministry managing. When somebody is dead, when another person is sick, voluntary retirement, your system that is not being trained, then you come to announce to us that your system has failed. You're supposed to be ashamed to tell us that your system did not only fail 10%, 15%, 20%, but your system has failed 90%. So you cut all teachers' salaries and bring down our educational system in the name of being marked right. Not knowing that we too have been in this business for some years. Every year in the university, twice a year they come for accreditation, looking for workers and regulating it. Then if I pass through that system with your computer twice every year of my 40 years, 80 times, then you are also telling me that it was never done there, that you were failures throughout. Then you're marking yourself wrong by yourself. And then you also have the guts to tell how wrong you were. And then you must take it easy to execute any judgment on yourself. It's as bad as that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prof, for the statement. I mean, you said a whole lot. Thank you for that beautiful perspective. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Union of Teachers has called for a special salary structure to make the profession more attractive and restore its dignity. National President Oduamba warned that the union shuts down primary schools in states that fail to implement the 70,000 naira national minimum wage, specifically naming Gombe State and Zamfara State as non-compliant. Amba said the union's National Executive Council will review affected states and could direct teachers to embark on strike actions. He lamented poor welfare, decaying infrastructure, and the growing migration of teachers abroad, stressing that teaching should not be treated as a last resort, but as a respected and competitive profession. Backing the call, Nigerian Labour Congress President Joe Ajaero urged all tiers of government to prioritize education through improved remuneration. While commending recent gains at the university level, the union insists that primary education, the foundation of learning, must not be neglected. This is quite similar to the report we just moved from. I mean, what is your take generally on this? And then, Professor, how important do you think that teachers' compensation is to the quality and success of a country's education system? Is there an empirical evidence that better payment directly translates into better academics, a better educational? What do you think?
It's unfortunate, really, and rather unfortunate that we're talking about 70%, 70,000 naira minimum wage. When we look at the current prices of fuel in the nation, when we look at the current prices of feeding in the nation, when we look at the current inflation in the country, it is unfortunate that what we're even asking for is 70,000 naira minimum wage. 70,000 naira cannot even fuel my car. My car, to have a full tank of my car is like 120,000. And I'm supposed to also be eating inside that money. That means car is parked as a university professor. That car must be parked. Yeah, the car is parked. Then when you now see, I just spoke about transportation. Now when you now talk about feeding, how it has become so difficult for Nigerians to feed, and we have this bare minimum of 70,000 naira. 70,000 naira. If you even do Uber to some places, Uber from my university to the Uber, or from my university to airport, the Uber is already 40,000. And then we are begging some states to meet the promise of 70,000 naira. It's so sad. It's unbelievable that as we speak now, even that 70,000 naira is not being paid by some states. Back again to accountability. We need all our governments to accountability. If you can't pay that ridiculous minimum, and you're still suffering staffs, you're still suffering teachers, and you're expecting the quality of education to increase. Some people can't even have transport money. Some like teachers can't have transport money to even go to school. There's going to be a lot of trekking taking place, and when you trek, you should be able to eat. It's very practical. You can't afford to take a bus, you can't afford to take a cab, then you now struggle to trek to go and do your work, and when you trek in there, you can't even afford to eat, so you can trek back home. I will join all the groups clamoring that these state governors should be called to orders, and this minimum wage of 70 ridiculous thousand naira should be paid, or there must be strike. We hereby call for strike if we don't act immediately.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Prof. Before we go over to the next report, which is...
supporting this.
Yes, I think I will join in that protest too, if you call for it.
Yes, please. Nigeria has changed. exchange rates, ridiculous. Our standard of living dropped. This is not the where some of us were born into in the 60s. By the time I was graduated at the University of Ife in 1984, going for youth service, jobs were just waiting, pick and choose. If they can improve what we had, they should give our children what we had.
Wow.
It is ridiculous that in the present day of Nigeria, I live in Port Harcourt, oil city. Even the oil city is telling us they are struggling to pay the 70%. At the 79, you see, I call it 70% as if I'm marking student scripts. The 70, it doesn't look like what somebody should be calling a monthly salary. Help me to break it down. A monthly salary of 70 means how much per day? Then how much is going for food? How much is going for housekeep? How much is going for light? How much is going for like 2,000 naira per day? If it's 70 and it's 30 days in a month, then we're talking about 2,000 naira per day for transportation or for feeding or for children. And they're robbing it by not paying it. Robbing it in, and it's even a shame. Minimum Nigerian wage should be over 100,000. 120. Not that you are paying a university professor 450,000 at federal universities. A university professor 480,000. It shouldn't even be said. Then we'll be talking about brain drain. Because before you know it, all our doctors are out of here.
Yes.
Our university professors are out of here. Everybody is looking for how to Japan. Supposed to be a rich nation, a blessed country, fine weather, good land for planting. Just what any country in the world will be looking for, is what God dashed us in Nigeria. Money buried underground as oil in the name of incredible money that all we're talking about here in our House of Assembly. The other day, Akpabio said, this money is too big, I don't know how to read it. Billion. She turned daft. Like we learn in our days, money is not our problem, but how to spend it
is the problem.
What was it? How to spend the big, free, God-gifted oil and mineral resources money in a blessed environment with brilliant people, great culture, and the capital, the poverty of the world. What a ridicule.
It is well. It is so pathetic.
How did we even get there?
It is well.
And when it's time to talk about embezzlement, once I was on sabbatical in Ghana, and they were making some ministers to be accountable for stealing and all that. And it was like Nigerian 50 million, Nigerians 20 million naira, Nigerians 10 million naira. And I was like, they should go to my country and hear the stolen money. Trillions, billions, and nobody is holding anybody accountable. We are just hearing the figures. How did we get here? I'm looking for a day when Nigerians will be able to wake up to hold our government to being accountable, so we can live into this, we can live the standard of living in heaven as designed for Nigeria. When He gave us these brilliant people, when He gave us this great land, some days I was 3 or 4 days ago, I went to my backyard and saw one of even me, I'm still calling it back. Just talking of harvest of banana at my backyard, that is like plantain.
Okay.
And I'm like, what's a nation? What's a country? How can we have banana in size of plantain just at my backyard, not at a standard farm? So we're God gifted. And unfortunately, the leadership, I think all we need in Nigeria is leadership. The leadership that will be exemplary. Those still are money. I think we had that Trump said he shouldn't be paid, he just wanted to serve America. People just the salary. We want the people who take only their salary and their rights and all the extras. And we're kept in this mess. So any promise they have given to us from the universities to secondary schools to primary schools, we are still looking up to the government to fulfill it because they are diverting the funds to wherever they want. And it is disappointing that they are not diverting it to education. For any nation to stay on the top, education would be the preference. Knowledge is number one. It's when education is preference that a nation can now move forward. So I use this opportunity again to appeal to our government, from the local government to state government to federal government, the House, lower house, upper house, that they should please consider the standard of living of the people of Nigeria, as well as take care of our educational system, because that is what has produced there. The teachers produce that. We produce that. Now, I think it's another good opportunity to tell Nigeria to put the right people in place.
Very important.
During elections, vote right. Don't vote the person that gives you 10 naira, 1,000 naira note. Vote because you our fault too when we go and put people that have eaten, have overeaten, and they still want to eat. Instead of electively picking out people that we know have passed through what we have passed through and are ready to work for us. So, next election is here, 2027 is beckoning, and we just look forward to voting right because we are in it. Just anybody who will do the job. We know we're not interested in parties, we're not interested in name calling, we're just interested in people who can confidently come to our rescue as individuals and as a nation.
Very importantly, I think I'm joining you in this call as well to all Nigerians. In the next election, we have to stand up and vote rightly. Thank you so much, ma'am, for all of your beautiful perspectives. You've done justice to the reports we have looked at. Because we do not have time, we may not be able to look at the reports on the state of insecurity in the country. But it's true that we have, you did justice to them. It's such a big privilege and it's a pleasure to have you join us on the show to share on your insights and your wealth of knowledge. Thank you, ma'am, once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I must say that I hope to do this with you again. If more often is possible, then I will appreciate that.
Especially the insecurity, because it's written now in my state.
And we need to talk. We need to really talk about it. We're out of time for today.
The last letter in Kwara State is in my village, Iraq, dropped at the market. So insecurity is even top on my mind too. I will be grateful to catch you up again.
We will do that. We will do that. We will do that. All right.